Now it is Carson Newman awaiting an opponent for tomorrow night. The 2-3 matchup is set between Wingate and North Georgia, who will join those three in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The Lander Bearcats hope that it is them tomorrow night taking on Carson Newman. These Bearcats coming into the NCAA tournament for the fourth consecutive season. Lander trying to improve its record to 25-7. It would give them back-to-back-to-back years of 25 wins. Meanwhile, this Limestone Saints team looking for a measure of revenge tonight against the Bearcats. It was Lander that eliminated Limestone last season in the opening round of the NCAA tournament down in Columbus, Georgia. A 70-50 victory for the Bearcats last year. These two teams met earlier in the season in the home opener for the Bearcats in front of a great crowd in Finest Horn Arena, and it was Lander that came away with a hard-fought 69-65 victory. This Limestone team, a very veteran bunch, they're trying to make a stand here tonight as the 5 seed and pull the lone upset of the opening round of the tournament. Bearcats and Saints just about 2 minutes away here in Holt Fieldhouse as we'll set the scene for you. For those of you joining us tonight on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network, thrilled to have you with us. A reminder that live video is available. Links are on LanderBearcats.com. Also, for those of you that want to get your live stats, LanderBearcats.com has those for you as well. Here at Carson Newman, we are on press row across the way from the main set of bleachers. It's a sardine box here in Jefferson City. Bleachers behind us, bleachers across from us, and bleachers to the right of us on the right baseline, the left baseline, media space. No bleachers there. The crowd has cleared out as the hometown Eagles played in the 5 o'clock game, so not nearly the crowd that we walked into the arena to witness just about 2 hours ago. But Lander and Limestone still have plenty to play for despite a smaller contingent here for this nightcap, but still a good crowd behind us. A lot of players from earlier in the day who are still in the tournament. They have made their way back to the arena to check out this final game between the 4 and 5 seeds as Lander head coach Kevin Pedersen and Nicole Schumett-Robertson, assistant coach, greet our officials tonight, and the Bearcats make their way over to the bench. They will be to our left. Limestone will be to our right as we get ready for tip-off here in Jefferson City, Tennessee, the NCAA Southeast Regional. Rickson Lane with you, and thrilled to have you join us tonight. Bearcats will be in the home gold uniforms, gold jerseys, gold shorts, blue numbers and letters, blue trim on the shorts, blue Bearcat head on those shorts as well. Limestone, they'll counter with the road blue uniforms, that feathered look on the shorts as it goes from a blue to a sort of striping white and blue pattern. They'll have the blue uniforms with gold lettering and white trim around those letters and numbers. And we are just about ready to introduce you to the starting 5 for the Bearcats and the Saints. Lander 24-7 out of the Peach Belt Conference. The Limestone Saints come in to this matchup out of Conference Carolina. The Saints are 23-5. Limestone eliminated in the opening round of the Conference Carolinas tournament. The Lander Bearcats advanced to the championship in the Peach Belt Conference tournament in Dahlonega, Georgia. Well, let's go ahead and let you greet the starters tonight for both sides. We'll start with Limestone, the 5-seeded Saints. At guard tonight for the Saints, they'll go with a 3-guard lineup. It'll be Jasmine Richardson highlighting that trio of guards for the Saints. Richardson, one of the top scoring threats in that lineup for the Saints tonight. Richardson, a senior guard out of Talladega, Alabama. She'll be joined in the backcourt by Keidra Smith, part of that 1-2 punch, the senior guard. She's from Mabane, North Carolina. The other guard is Taylor Hunter, number 23, a junior from Easley, South Carolina. 2 post players for Limestone. Aaliyah Ruffin, number 14, a senior forward from Apex, North Carolina. And the center is Aaliyah Davis, number 22, a senior center from Fayetteville, Georgia. For the Lander Bearcats this evening, Kevin Pedersen sticking with a 4-guard lineup as he's done throughout the season. Crystal Williams, 1 point to open up the ball game for Lander, junior guard from Riverdale, Georgia. Destiny Langford in the starting lineup, sophomore guard from Lexington, South Carolina. She's joined by fellow sophomore guard Jessica Harris. Another sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina, Chelsea Mitchell, rounds out the backcourt. You'll also see her in the post tonight, or hear her in the post tonight. A guard from Laurel, Maryland. And the center for the Bearcats in the lone post presence is Brashay Johnson, senior out of Hopkins, South Carolina. Starting lineups have concluded, and we're just about ready to get underway this evening. Lander and Limestone. Our officials tonight, Mr. Tucker, Mr. Armstrong, and Mr. Drake. Sun has set here in Jefferson City. Darkness. As you look to our right, there's some skylights. You can look out in the Tennessee sky. To the left, scoreboards on both sides, so we'll be able to keep you up to date on everything in terms of time and score tonight. And it's the NCAA Southeast Regional wraps up day number 1. It'll be Johnson and Davis to jump against one another to open this one up. Bearcats facing to the right, Limestone facing to the left as you're listening. Ball in the air, we're underway. And it's tapped out of bounds towards press row. Bearcat basketball is the call. So Chelsea Mitchell will trigger it in from the near sideline. Crystal Williams will be the point guard as she steps behind half court. They'll take 1 second off the clock, 9:59 to go in the first quarter as Mitchell gets it into Williams, and we're underway. Williams going to be guarded up top by Richardson as she hands off to Langford. They go inside Mitchell. Mitchell lost the handle, ball on the ground, and Limestone comes away with an early turnover. Kedra Smith with the basketball for the Saints as she brings up the floor against heavy man-to-man pressure from Mitchell. Mitchell switch off with her. Williams will take her now as the ball goes in the hands of Hunter. Hunter swings it left side as the ball's now to Richardson. Richardson around a screen into the lane, kick it right side. Corner 3 on the way, off the mark, back iron, and rebounded by Williams. Shot missed from Hunter, and Williams halts at the free throw line and dishes it back to Langford. Bearcats turned it over on their first possession, and then Limestone missing a three-pointer. Ball to Johnson on the baseline. Johnson working that pivot foot, double teamed, and she traveled on the baseline under heavy pressure. A double team came as that was Davis who was guarding her face up, and then I think Smith came over and applied the pressure. That allows Lander to set up a full court press as the ball's lobbed into Richardson, and a foul called on the Bearcats. They're going to get that one on Crystal Williams as the ball was lobbed into Richardson just in front of the Limestone bench, and Williams whistled for the foul. That's her first, team first. 9:12 to go first quarter. Saints will bring it up the floor with Hunter. Hunter guarded by Harris. Hunter rocks it between her legs, now wants to drive left side. Dish it inside for an easy layup. Hunter drew Johnson off of Davis and got it inside to Davis, who puts it in off the glass. Limestone draws first blood, 2-0, 8:53 to go in the first quarter. Now Harris at the top of the arc, man-to-man defense from the Saints. She's being hounded by Hunter. Harris hesitates, into the key, bouncing left to Williams, on the wing. Now Williams going to drive all the way to the rim, lay it up with the left hand. Williams splits the double team and puts it in off the backboard, and it's a 2-2 ball game, 8:33 to go first quarter. Saints inbounded as Williams went for the steal, couldn't get it. Now driving all the way to the rim, Richardson, offensive foul as she barreled into Brashay Johnson. Put a teardrop off the backboard, and Johnson stood there and took it. Offensive foul against Jasmine Richardson, and the Bearcats will have the ball in a 2-2 ball game, 8:25 to go first period. Williams taps the chin with her right hand as she brings the ball ahead. Right side, Langford. Langford looking for a gold jersey as she comes off a screen. Langford into the key, picks up the dribble, sends it out to Harris. Harris with 17 on the shot clock. Harris dribbles right side, now resets the offense. Bearcats shift around offensively as Harris comes around the screen, hesitates into the lane, and we've got a whistle, and we're going to get a foul on Limestone. Call will go against Hunter. Her first foul against the Saints, or pardon me, second foul against the Saints. Fresh shot clock for Lander, 8:02 to play in the first quarter. Harris inbounded high to Johnson. Johnson at the free throw line. Drive left side, layup good. Brashay Johnson puts it on the floor and takes it to the rim. 4-2, Bearcats their first lead of the night. Inbound ahead to Smith. She's got 3 gold jerseys around her, but she gets it into the arc. Spinning left-handed hook shot and a foul as it finds the bottom of the net, and Smith will go to the line. Smith drove inside the arc, spun left, threw up a wild hook shot with her left hand. The foul was called, I believe, on Mitchell. And now Smith with an opportunity for an and one. 7:44 to go, first quarter, and the free throw is good to make it 5-4 Limestone. So Williams brings it ahead. Langford now on the right wing. Calls for the screen and gets it. Langford all the way to the rim. Had her shot blocked by Davis, who comes up with a loose ball. Langford denied as Davis got her with the right hand. Smith sends it left side, driving as Richardson. Had her pass deflected. Langford came out with it, and then a foul going to be called on Davis as she went up and tried to rip it away from Langford. Call will go against Davis, and the third foul of the quarter against Limestone. 7:20 to go in the first quarter. We've already had 5 fouls called in this one. 3 on Limestone and 2 on Lander. Bearcats with 4 guards around the arc and Johnson on the left block. Back to Langford, it goes from Williams. Langford reverses direction, drives right side, off the glass, up and in. Destiny Langford with contact, puts the Bearcats up 6-5. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Saints inbound at Richardson. Richardson faced up against Williams. Williams trying to shade her to the sideline as Richardson brings it over the timeline, passes it away. Ball taken inside the key by Smith. Smith driving, hook layup, up and good, left hand. Tit for tat we go here in the first quarter. 7-6, Saints back up by 1. Harris beyond the arc on the left side. Straight ahead now to Williams as Williams backs out. 6:30 to go in the first period. Williams directing traffic. Off a screen right side. Wanted to pull up, instead gives it to Johnson. Johnson picks up her dribble. Out top to Harris. 6 on the shot clock. Harris hesitates, drives, and one. Jessica Harris split a double team high off the glass and got it to fall, and Jessica Harris will go to the free throw line. 8-7 Bearcats up, 6:19 to go first quarter. Call is on Keidra Smith. That is her second, as the Saints will go to the bench. Checking in now for Limestone, Amani Williams, the senior guard from Morganton, North Carolina. As Williams comes in, she will replace Hunter. Harris's free throw is good, and the Bearcats lead at 9-7. 6:19 to go first quarter. Saints pass it around to the backcourt as Williams bounces it over the timeline to Smith. Smith out on the wing, gives it back up top to Williams, and Williams will set the offense up. 6 minutes to go in the first period. Lander up a bucket. Williams backs out beyond the arc once more. Lobs it left side, Richardson. 5 on the shot clock. Richardson has it stolen away. Mitchell picked the pocket. Mitchell, the other end. Layup no good. She missed it. Ball knocked out of bounds off of the Bearcats. Chelsea Mitchell read the pass beautifully beyond the arc. Stole it off the bounce, took it all the way, and just put it in way too hard off the backboard. Think she might have expected contact. 9-7, Bearcats lead by 2, 5:45 to go first quarter. Saints bring it ahead with Williams. Williams guarded by Williams as they send it out right side. 3 ball on the way, back iron no good, rough it off the mark, and Williams checking Mitchell with the rebound. Outlet pass ahead to Langford. Langford slows to a walk. Gives it to Mitchell on the left wing as they work it up top to Williams now. Williams set the offense up. Right side it goes to Harris. Harris fire a 3 off the back iron. Fight for a loose ball. Still free on the baseline. And the Saints came out with it. And they're going to say that it was off of Lander. They're going to say that Johnson knocked it out of bounds. Thought they were going to call a foul on Johnson, as Limestone goes to the bench once more, as the Saints will send in Jayla Morrow, sophomore guard out of Tucker, Georgia. 9-7 Bearcats leading, 5:13 to go in the first quarter. And Mitchell deflects the pass off the head of our official. Morrow tried to inbound it. Mitchell deflected it and gives our ref a pat on the head. Nobody worse for wear. 9-7, Lander up 2. Morrow trying to get it over half court and doesn't, dribble it off her foot. Turnover to the Bearcats. Fourth turnover from Limestone here in the opening period. 5:05 to go first quarter. Lander up 9-7. Williams brings it ahead. Bellows out the offense to the Bearcats. Bounce it to the right side. Mitchell from the elbow. Jumper, true. Chelsea Mitchell, smooth shot, puts the Bearcats up 11-7. 4:50 to go first quarter. Limestone trying to inbound it. They get it into Williams. Williams back over to Morrow, and Morrow weaves over half court. Ball's on the ground. Lander took it away from her. Williams goes to the ground to get it. Now Langford bringing it ahead. Bearcats with numbers. Dish inside Johnson. Johnson layup in. Bearcats out in transition, and they put it to a 13-7 lead now. And Williams fell down defensively, and that allows Limestone to get an easy trip down the floor, but an air ball three-pointer attempt from Smith. Saints have gone scoreless in the last 2:25. 13-7. Bearcats up a half dozen. Three ball left side, good by Smith. Kedra Smith puts an end to the Bearcat run. It's 13-10. Now out ahead quickly Langford, and she's fouled on her way to the rim, and Destiny Langford will go to the line with 4:03 to go in the first quarter. 4:03 to play as we hit the media timeout. 13-10. Bearcats on top of Limestone. Opening round of the NCAA tournament. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back in Jefferson City, Tennessee, Rickson Lane with you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Lander leading Limestone 13-10 with 4:03 to go in the first quarter. Bearcats go to the bench, and Ariana Sanders checks in, the junior out of Pearland, Texas. Langford at the line after she was fouled on her way to the hoop, and she'll shoot a pair. The sophomore out of Lexington clangs the first off the front iron. Langford on the season for the Bearcats, averaging 10.5 points per game. She's a 71% free throw shooter. She makes the second. 14-10, Bearcats up 4. 4:03 to go in the opening period. Saints bring it ahead and over the timeline. Sanders on defense as she guards against Williams. Williams with the right hand dribble. Switches over to the left as she bounces it right side to Smith. Smith going to drive into the lane. Travel violation as she got the bucket, but it'll be waved off. Another turnover. That is number 6 against Limestone here in this first quarter. 3:43 to play in the opening period. Lander up 14-10. Langford a run point now, joined on the backcourt by Sanders, Mitchell, and Harris. Johnson in at the post. Ball kicked to the right side, and Harris. Harris pumps, now wants to go left side, reverses back, kicks it out to Langford. Langford closed out on, 10 to shoot. Langford gonna go baseline, into a trap, backs out, dish it off to Johnson at the elbow, and it'll reach in, and Johnson traveled. Johnson tied up and shuffled her feet, a turnover by the Bearcats. That is their third. Saints are already gonna be sending the Bearcats to the line the rest of the quarter. Lander has committed just 2 fouls thus far. Limestone has committed 5. Bearcats trying to trap at half court, but the Saints get it right side to Williams, who now bring it straight away to the top of the arc. Harris backpedaling on defense. Williams wants to drive, bounces it right side. Smith going to fire up a long rainbow three, too strong, ball batted around, free ball, and Langford comes out with a long rebound for Lander. Langford in transition, kick it to Mitchell. Mitchell left side Harris. Harris open for three, yes indeed. Jessica Harris from the left wing, and Lander's up 17-10. Now the Saints trying to throw it ahead of everybody, nearly threw it out of bounds, and then almost turn it over. Ball's on the floor. Bearcats trying to come out with it, and Mitchell does come up with the steal. Saints went to the floor to get it. Davis couldn't find the blue jersey, however, and turns it over, and then Lander throws it away on the other end as Harris lobbed it over the head of Brashay Johnson, trying to find the post player under the rim, and Johnson just could not get a finger on it. So the Bearcats go to the bench once more. Chelsea Mitchell will check out. Tabitha Daly, the sophomore out of Augusta, Georgia, into the ball game with 2:33 to go in the first quarter, and Lander up by 7. Saints inbound to Hunter. Hunter saw numbers, but now has to back out as Lander's defense was in hot pursuit. Morrow with the ball now at the free throw line. Wants to go to the left block and throws it away over the head of Hunter. Another Bearcat turnover. Lander's defense forcing problems here early on for the Saints, and Limestone will go to the bench. Morrow checks out. Aaliyah Ruffin back in the ball game. Senior out of Apex, North Carolina. Langford waves Sanders from the right wing over to the left. Langford going to pull up inside the arc. Long two, bottoms. Destiny Langford knocks down the 19-footer, and it's a 19-10 lead for Lander. Now Harris trying to run down Williams on defense on the far sideline. They've got her trapped. Ball out of bounds. Turnover by the Saints. Lander's going to get it right back. A minute 57 to go in quarter number 1, and Lander up 19-10, and they've got the ball. They have forced 9 Limestone turnovers here in the opening 8 minutes. Daly bounces it into Langford, and she'll bring it over the midcourt logo. Bearcats spread out around the arc. Johnson walking under the hoop. Langford wants to go right side, and she's going to get called for an offensive foul through a forearm right into the neck area of Ruffin. That's the first foul on Langford, the third foul against the Bearcats, as the Saints dribble it out of bounds. They tried to inbound it and dribbling in front of the Limestone bench, and I think it was Williams that just dribbled it off her own foot. Head coach Corey Fox just shakes his head. Saints have turned it over 10 times this quarter. They trail by 9. A minute 40 to go in the first quarter. Johnson at the free throw line. Langford with the ball on the right side. Langford in traffic, gets it out to Harris. A minute 33 to go in the quarter. Langford gets it right back. Now Daly cutting to the low block. Johnson sets the screen. Langford jumper way off the mark, but Tabitha Daly got the offensive rebound and the putback. Tabitha Daly, strong board, and her layup puts Lander up 11, 21-10. A minute 15 to go in the quarter. Hunter ahead, guarded by Daly in the backcourt. Hunter trying to get a screen. Instead, she'll give it up top to Chivers. 3 ball on the way, left iron, and Langford with a defensive board for the Bearcats. Langford pushing tempo, now slows down and gives it to Harris. Harris pumps a 3. Harris wants to drive, and Harris is fouled with 51 seconds to go in the quarter. Williams will be whistled for the foul, and Harris will go to the free throw line with 51 seconds to go in quarter number 1. She'll shoot 2. So Jessica Harris at the stripe, the sophomore out of Sumter. Harris averaging 9.9 points per game this season, a 74% free throw shooter, and she makes her first. Led the Peach Belt Conference this year in assists. .148 coming into the night as her second free throw is off the mark. Bearcat defense trapping up top. Saints get out of it, and Lander backs out. Ball sent left side, Smith. Smith Euro step around Pettit, but her layup won't go. Langford with the rebound. 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 27, now 26 to go in the quarter. Lander leads it 22-10. Harris taps her head and sets the offense up. 15 to shoot. Langford on the left wing, Sanders on the right, Pettit on the right block. Daly at the left elbow. 5, 4 to shoot. Harris on the screen, straight away, 3, got it! Jessica Harris with a trifecta, and that's going to end the first quarter. Bearcats storm out to a 15-point lead, 25-10 as we head to quarter number 2. Second period coming up from Jefferson City, Tennessee. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back in Jefferson City, Tennessee, Rickson Lane with you. NCAA Southeast Regional opening round between Lander and Limestone, and the Bearcats out to a hot start. 25-10 our score at the end of the first quarter. 10 points from Jessica Harris to open up the game. She leads all scores. Langford had 5 in the quarter. Brashay Johnson had 4. Meanwhile, for Limestone, Kedra Smith had 8 of their 10 points. Davis had the other 2. Saints turned it over 10 times in the first quarter. Lander turned it over just 5. Smith trying to do it herself. Drives inside. Can't get the leg to go over Johnson, but got her own offensive rebound. Went under Mitchell for the putback. Kedra Smith, she's got 10 in the game, and it's a 25-12 lead for Lander. Mitchell, left wing, pumps a 3, now gives to Sanders. Sanders lob it inside to Johnson. Johnson wants to go up inside, and she's fouled as she got through a double team, but could not get the acrobatic shot to fall. So Brashay Johnson will go to the free throw line. Johnson, first team All Peach Belt Conference selection. 77% free throw shooter, knocks down her first. Leading scorer for the Bearcats this year, averaging just under 17 points per game. This Limestone offense is going to run through Kedra Smith. 17.4 points per game on the season, and the Saints turn it over again. They threw it over the head of Ruffin on the inbound, and Lander will have it in the front court. Leading 27-12. 35. Harris on the left wing, wants to drive baseline, denied, so sends it back out to Williams. Johnson the free throw line, kicks to Mitchell, 3 ball short, and rebounded by Richardson. Richardson over to Smith. Smith all the way to the rim, and the layup good. Kedra Smith single-handedly trying to keep the Saints in this one early. 27-14. Bearcats lead by 13 with 8:53 to go in the first half of action. Harris dribbling on the right side, guarded by Hunter. 10 to shoot as she goes to the left side of the lane. Out to Mitchell on the baseline. 5 to shoot. Mitchell going to hand to Harris. There's a long 3 off the mark, no good, and rebounded by Richardson. Second rebound of the evening for Jasmine Richardson, and then her pass knocked out of bounds as Harris got a piece of it. Out of bounds to the Saints. Destiny Langford will check back in for the Bearcats. 5 points, 3 rebounds for her. She's the leading rebounder in this ball game. Both teams have shot the ball very well. 63% for Lander, 50% for Limestone. Pass lobbed outside Hunter. Pull-up jumper from the elbow. Knocked it down. Hunter with her first bucket of the night. And the Saints, a little mini run here as they've cut it to 11. 27-16. 8:11 to go in the first half. Johnson out to Harris. Now ball to Langford on the right wing. Langford around the screen. Now reverses direction. Wants to drive right side baseline. Reverse layup. No good. Ball batted out. And Sanders comes up with a rebound. Fresh shot clock for Lander. They go inside Johnson. And Johnson's fouled. Nice find from Ariana Sanders. And Brashae Johnson to the right of the hoop. Couldn't get it to go. But the foul was called on Aaliyah Ruffin. That is her first. Second foul of the quarter against Limestone. Bearcats have not been called for one yet as Johnson's first free throw rattles out. Saints have made each of their last 3 field goals. They trailed by 15 entering the second quarter. It's now an 11-point game. Now back to 12 as Johnson's second free throw tickles the twine. 28-16 Bearcats. 7:53 to go first half. Saints against this Bearcat pressure. They get the inbound and they bring it over the timeline with Hunter. Hunter goes behind her back as she backs away from Langford. Now dribbling the left hand. Give it right side to Smith. Smith hesitates. Wants to drive on Williams. Check it on Mitchell and she dribbled it off her foot and Lander's got it. Mitchell ahead to Langford. Langford, layup up and good. Destiny Langford all the way to the rim, and Lander's lead is back out to 14, 30-16 now. Now Richardson, a floater, banked it in off the glass. Elevated off of that left foot and kissed it in off the square. 30-18, Lander's lead a dozen. Langford right wing, faced up against Ruffin. Langford reverses again, goes baseline, had it swatted away by Ruffin. And the Saints come out with it. Second time in a row, Langford had tried that move, and then a travel beyond the arc on a wide open 3 attempt. Jasmine Richardson walks when Jessica Harris wasn't even that close to her. It was a one-on-one, and Richardson could have fired a 3, and she just traveled with it. Another Saint turnover, number 13 on the evening. 30-18 our score. Lander up 12 with 6:50 to go in the second quarter. Johnson takes it just inside the arc. Sanders wide open under the basket for an easy lay-in. Johnson found a wide open Sanders, and the guard with the easy bucket. 32-18 now. Richardson walks it up far sideline. Now up to a trot as she goes against Harris. Harris tried to pick her pocket. They get it to Hunter. Swing it left side. 3 ball from the corner. Front iron no good. Tapped around and Mitchell wins the battle for the rebound. Mitchell into the front court. Langford left side. She's wide open. 3 on the way. Well short. Got her own rebound. Kick it to Mitchell. Elbow jumper. Off the back rim. No good. Sanders came up with the offensive rebound. Ball's on the floor now. And a jump ball is the call. Bearcats will maintain possession with 6:09 to play in the half. A pair of subs into the game for Limestone is Jayla Morrow and Aaliyah Davis back in the ball game. 32-18 our score. As Lander inbounds it up top to Johnson. Johnson gives to Sanders. Swing it left side, Harris. Harris way beyond the arc. Faced up against Hunter. Bounce to Langford on the right wing. Langford wants to go left side. Now reverses back into the key. Jumper no good and rebounded by Smith. Bearcats trying to get back on defense. Morrow on the left side. Left open, so she'll launch a 3. Rattled around and finds a friendly roll, and it drops through the hoop. They're going to call it a long 2, and it's 32-20 now as Morrow gets in the book her first bucket of the evening. And then Harris's pass through the legs of Limestone, and timeout taken by the Bearcats as Johnson had it on the baseline. Lander will... Pardon me, they're going to say it's a turnover. They pointed in this direction, thought they were pointing at Coach Pedersen, but it is a turnover, so my fault Limestone will have the ball, down by 12 with 5:28 to go in the second quarter. Bearcats still staying in that man-to-man. And Kedra Smith with the offensive foul. She barreled over Jessica Harris. And Lander ball with 5:16 to play in the half. They lead it 32-20. Third foul on Limestone's leading scorer, Kedra Smith. She has 12 of the Saints' 20 points thus far, but she is on the bench as Williams gives to Harris. Harris dribbling into the lane, kick it left side, Mitchell pumps along two, now going to drive, and she's fouled on her way to the key, threw up a shot, and she's going to get 2 trips to the free throw line. Whistle goes against Hunter, her second. Fourth foul of the period against the Saints, and Chelsea Mitchell at the line. Mitchell, an all-conference performer in her first season in Greenwood. She makes the first. Second leading scorer on this Bearcat team, 15 points per game. Led the Peach Belt Conference in steals this season. 98 coming into the game. Mitchell makes her second. 34-20. The ball nearly thrown away on the inbound. Tipped away from Williams, and the Saints will maintain possession. And we've got a whistle. We had a whistle and a stoppage of play. Can't tell what the problem was. As Morrow inbounds. 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Lander up 34-20 here in period number 2 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Mitchell called for a foul as she was in the hip pocket of Richardson on her way down the far sideline. 4:55 to go in the first half. Media timeout. Lander leading 34-20 over Limestone. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. (34-20), Lander on top with 4:53 to go in the first half of play here at Carson Newman. Opening round of the NCAA Southeast Regional as they work it inside the Saints, and they find Aaliyah Davis for an easy bucket as Mercedes Johnson tried to draw an offensive charge, fell to her back, and an easy jumper knocked down by Davis. 34-22, Johnson gets it left baseline in a lot of traffic, a lot of contact, can't get the shot to go. Rebounded by Davis. A 12-point ball game with 4:20 to go before we hit halftime. Morrow driving all the way to the right side of the lane. Kicks it back out to Williams. Williams guarded by Sanders. 15 to shoot. Williams wants to go right side. Throws up a shot and it'll fall off the hip check from Sanders. No whistle, and it drops in. And now the Saints on a 4-0 run. Bearcats have not had a field goal in the last 2:47. Sanders around a screen, Off the glass, too strong, and rebounded by Ruffin. The lead is 10 for Lander as Williams brings it ahead, sends it to Morrow on the left wing, skip pass right side, 3-ball from Ruffin, airballed, and Sanders gets the rebound for the Bearcats, 3:35 to go in the quarter. Long pass ahead to Harris. Harris wants to go to the rim. Wraparound pass to Daly. Can't get the layup to go. There was contact there, but a rebound by Morrow. Lander 0 for their last 5 from the floor now. They have not had a field goal in over 3.5 minutes. Meanwhile, Limestone has hit 7 of their last 9 shots from the floor. 34-24. Morrow driving right side, misses the layup, too short with it, and Johnson with the rebound. Ahead to Harris. Harris hesitating on the wing, kicks it to Williams. Williams spot up 3, back iron no good. Rebounded by the Saints as it was Davis who came down with it. Lander mired in 0 for 6 slump from the field. 2:50 left in the first half. Bearcats lead it by 10, 34-24. Williams trying to work on Harris. Sends it right side, Ruffin. Now back straight ahead to Williams. Williams wants to break Harris down into the lane. Throws up a wild shot. No good. Good defense from Harris, and she got the rebound as well. Harris all the way to the key. Now weaves right, hands off to Williams. Williams entry pass to Johnson. Gives it back to Harris. Johnson goes right back to her. Inside, Johnson fouled, and she'll go to the line. Well, the Bearcats 0 for their last 7 from the floor, and they work it into Brashay Johnson. And now Johnson will have an opportunity to get 2 free ones. She's got 7 points in the ball game, along with 1 rebound and 1 assist. (34-24). Lander up 10, and Johnson's first free throw no good. Bearcats 8 of 12 from the line in the game as Desney Langford comes in the ball game. Crystal Williams will check out. Meanwhile, Davis sent to the bench for Limestone. 2:21 to go in the first half. Opening game of the NCAA tournament for both squads. A 4-seed Lander and the 5-seed Limestone. Johnson's second free throw is good, and it's 35-24. Inbound to Williams, and Williams up the far sideline with some speed into the lane, twisting right-handed layup no good, and Langford climbs the ladder for the rebound. Now Langford trying to go back the other way with Williams in her hip pocket. Langford all the way to the rim, missed the layup, rebounded by Johnson. Johnson with contact, and she's fouled. Brashay Johnson will go back to the line. Oh, Brashay Johnson took it away from 2 Limestone defenders, and now she'll shoot 2 with 2:04 to go in the first half. Both teams offensively challenged here in the recent minutes. Lander has not made a field goal since the 6:48 mark of the second quarter. Limestone has not scored since 4:06 remained in the quarter. As Shea's first free throw is good, 36-24. Bearcats have missed their last 8 field goals, but they've gotten points at the charity stripe. Lander has shot 14, now 15 free throws in this game as Johnson hits both. Limestone has attempted 1 free throw tonight. It's a 13-point Bearcat lead. Richardson all the way to the rim, and she's fouled by Johnson. Jasmine Richardson goes coast to coast, and she'll go to the line with 1:59 to go in the first half. Richardson trying to get Limestone on the board. They've gone over 2 minutes without a point. First free throw is good. Just the second and third free throw attempts of the night for the Saints. The Bearcats are 11 of 15 from the line. Johnson has 8 of those attempts. She's made 6. Both free throws good for Richardson, and it's an 11-point game, 37-26. Langford will bounce it to Harris. They enter it into Johnson on the right post. Back out to Harris. Harris weaves it to Sanders. Sanders on the right wing. 15 to shoot. Into Johnson on the block. Back out Sanders. 3-ball on the way. Too short. And the rebound taken by Johnson. And she gets it free. Turnover. Check it. Timeout. Called by Lander. They keep pointing this way, and I'm not sure if they're pointing at Coach Pedersen or pointing to indicate a turnover. It's a timeout, and it's Lander basketball. With 1:35 to go in the second quarter, Bearcats lead at 37-26. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. while we were away, an injured Saint on the floor. And aided off. That was Aaliyah Chivers, the senior forward out of Kansas City, Missouri. We'll keep an eye on her and hope to see her return to this ball game. Bearcats with an 11-point lead, and Johnson was fouled. Saints tried to steal it from her on a double team. They had Ruffin and Williams doubling her up, and I think they're going to call it on Williams. They are. It's on Amani Williams, her second foul. And now Corey Fox, Limestone's head coach, getting a stern warning from one of our officials. Bearcats continue to get trips to the free throw line, and it's a good thing they have not made a field goal in the last 5.5 minutes as Johnson's first free throw too strong. 37-26, Lander up 11, a minute 24 to go in the half. Second free throw is good. 38-26. 12-point lead for the Bearcats, a minute 24 to go before we hit halftime. Williams will bring it ahead. Pass tipped by Daly, stolen by Langford. 3-on-1. Daly, right wing, layup, easy, up and in. And the Bearcats up by 14, 40-26, 1:08 to go in the half. Turnover number 15 by Limestone in this ball game. They swing it left side, and a travel, make it 16 now as Morrow took an extra step. Bearcats will get it back with 59 seconds to go in the half. They lead by 14. Now Limestone without a field goal in over 3 minutes. As Langford dribbles it with her right hand, guarded closely by Morrow out around midcourt. Langford and a back out. 16 on the shot clock. Lander going to milk a little time here as Langford gives it off to Harris on the right side. Harris wants to drive baseline. Offensive foul. Jessica Harris will be whistled for the foul. That is her first. So Limestone will inbound with 38 seconds to go in the half. 8-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock here. Saints can run it all the way down to nearly 8.5 seconds. Williams brings it up against Langford. Saints spread around the floor. Ruffin at the post. Now she comes out to get the high ball. Nobody inside the arc for the Saints. As Hunter wants to go right side, pass right through the hands of Richardson. Another Limestone turnover, number 17. Bearcats with the ball, 15.7 seconds showing on the clock. Lander can hold for the final shot of the half, leading 40-26. Harris will bring it ahead. 7 seconds as Harris puts it in motion. Bounce it to Langford. Back to Harris. Corner three. Good! Jessica Harris will end the quarter with a three-pointer. The second time she's done it tonight. And the Bearcats take a 17-point lead into halftime. It's 43-26 here in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll give you the first half stats. Lander on 43-26 as we go to halftime in Jefferson City, Tennessee. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Back in Jefferson City, Tennessee, Rickson Lane with you. NCAA Southeast Regional opening round. The 4th-seeded Lander Bearcats with a 43-26 halftime lead over the 5th-seeded Limestone Saints. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first half stats. First for the Saints, Limestone in the first half shooting 50% from the field, 11 of 22. They were just 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. A perfect 3 of 3 from the field, from the free throw line, pardon me, but again, only 3 trips to the line in the first 20 minutes of play. 14 rebounds, 12 on defense, 2 offensively for the Saints in the first half. The assist-to-turnover ratio, a huge problem for Corey Fox's team. 5 assists for the Saints and 17 turnovers. Kedra Smith leads Limestone with 12 of their 26 points. Davis has ripped down 4 rebounds for the Saints in the first half. Meanwhile, for the Lander Bearcats, 45.2% from the floor in the first half of action. They were 37.5% from beyond the arc, 3 of 8 from three-point land. Jessica Harris has made all 3 of Lander's trays in the first half. The Bearcats went to the line 17 times in the first half and made 12 free throws, just a shade under 71%. They are leading the rebounding battle 16-14. They've had 6 offensive rebounds in this game, 8 assists against 7 turnovers. Jessica Harris leads all scorers with 13 points. Destiny Langford with 5 rebounds. She leads everyone on the floor in that department. So as we get to halftime, 43-26, Lander on top of the Limestone Saints here at Carson Newman University at Holt Fieldhouse. We'll step aside. Second half action coming up in just about 10 minutes. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. We welcome you back to Jefferson City, Tennessee, Carson Newman University, and round one of the NCAA Southeast Regional. Rickson Lane with you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Good to have you join us at halftime. Fourth-seeded Lander leading fifth-seeded Limestone, 43-26. The Bearcats got 13 from Harris in the first half, 11 from Johnson, 7 from Langford, 4 apiece from Mitchell and Daly, and 2 from Williams and Sanders. Meanwhile, for Limestone, it was Kedra Smith leading the way with 12. Richardson and Davis each had 4. Hunter, Morrow, and Williams with 2 apiece. Bearcats winning the rebounding battle 16-14. They have forced 17 Limestone turnovers thus far while committing just 7 turnovers themselves. Lander with 8 assists in the ballgame. Limestone with 5. The Bearcats are 45% from the field, 38% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line. Limestone 48% from the field, 17% from downtown, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. Lander has attempted 8 more shots in this game than Limestone has, 31-23. Bearcats will have the ball. They will be going from right to left as you're listening on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Mitchell, Williams, Johnson, Langford, and Harris on the floor for Limestone. Richardson, Ruffin, Smith, Davis, Hunter. Harris throws it away. Tried to send it to the top of the key to Mitchell, and the ball thrown out of bounds. So a turnover from Lander on their first possession of the second half. They turned it over on their first possession of the first half as well. Saints give it to Hunter at the top of the arc. Harris guarding her. They work it to Jasmine Richardson. Now Richardson inside. Kedra Smith misses her layup. Offensive rebound from Davis. Davis's putback is up and good. Boy, Smith was right under the hoop, couldn't finish it, but Davis cleaned it up. Second chance points, now 7 in the game for Limestone. As Langford answers with a 3 from the left wing. Destiny Langford, the first player not named Jessica Harris to make a three-pointer in this game for Lander, and it's 46-28. Richardson with the skip pass on the near sideline. Now guarded by Williams as she dribbles with the right hand. Skip it over left side to Ruffin. Ruffin inside the key to Davis. Davis sends it back out to Hunter. Hunter's 3, good. Straight away three-pointer, and Limestone cuts it to a 46-31 game. 8:44 to go, third quarter action. Williams, hip-high dribble on the right wing. Want to lob it inside to Johnson. Johnson triple-teamed and had it stolen away from her by Davis. Saints with the turnover, and now Hunter into the front court. Over to Ruffin. Ruffin back to Hunter. Hunter closed out on by Williams. They want to go inside. Turn around right hand hook shot, no good from Davis. Langford got the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Limestone. They're trying to work inside to Davis and try to get Johnson in some foul trouble, it appears. Johnson, no fouls called on her in the first half. She had 11 points and 2 rebounds. Mitchell beyond the arc, bounces it back over to Williams up top. Williams crossing over, now gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell inside the arc, sends it left side Harris. Mitchell, long 2, got it. Chelsea Mitchell, 18-footer, and Landers back up by 17, 48-31. Saints get it over the timeline, and they traveled with it as Smith collided with Harris and lifted her pivot foot. Turnover by Limestone, their 18th of the night, and the Bearcats will have the ball. It's 48-31, 7:46 to go, third quarter action. Mitchell bounce it into Williams, who will walk it over the timeline. Johnson on the right block, Langford on the right wing. They give it to Harris on the left side of the arc. Harris to Johnson, just inside the arc now. Got some space at the free throw line. Instead, she gives it to Langford, who gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell pumps, goes in the key. Had her shot partially blocked. And then the loose ball rebounded by the Saints, and a foul called on Brashay Johnson. That is her first. First foul of the quarter against either team as Lander sets up their defense, and Williams nearly stole the inbound pass, but the Saints recover it. Richardson came out with the ball. Gives it away to Hunter as Hunter brings it up the far sideline. 7:15 to go, third quarter. Lander leading 48-31 as Hunter sets the defense. Sends it right side. Richardson open for three, and she hit it. Bearcats left Richardson open, and she knocks down her first three of the game. She's got 7 points. So the top two scorers on the team for Limestone, Smith and Richardson, they've been the keys to the offense all year long. They've got 19 of Limestone's 34 in this one. Harris goes to the free throw line, pretends to give it back, now hits it away to Mitchell. Mitchell with 10 on the shot clock. Mitchell crossover, step back, jumper, got it. Oh my goodness, Chelsea Mitchell creating her own shot there, and it's 50-34. Lander up 16, 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter as the Bearcats set up their defensive pressure. Ruffin going to bring it up against Langford. Ruffin going to go down the far sideline, and she spins away and into a trap. Looking for a blue jersey, bounces it to Richardson inside the arc. Richardson going to drive right side, and a foul call on Crystal Williams as Richardson tried to go up for the shot, came down, and thought we might get a travel call against the Saints, but instead Williams is called for her second foul. So Jasmine Richardson to the free throw line. She's made every shot she's attempted tonight. 2 of 2 from the field, and now 3 of 3 from the free throw line. She's also got 2 rebounds and 1 assist, but has turned it over 5 times. As Crystal Williams goes to the bench, Ariana Sanders comes in the ball game. Second free throw is good, and it's a 14-point game. 50-36, Lander with 6:15 to go in quarter number 3. Langford with that blue pad on her left elbow. Rocks the ball with the left hand, now wants to go inside. Instead kicks to Harris. Harris hesitates, now weaves over to the right side, hands it back to Langford with 11 on the shot clock. Under 6 to go in the third quarter. Bearcats up 14, 7 to shoot. Langford around the screen, wants to drive into traffic, had her shot blocked, got it back, fade away, baseline, jumper, good, my goodness, Destiny Langford rainbowed it over tall timber, and Lander's lead is 16 as they lob it into Richardson. Richardson into the front court, 3-on-3. Now she'll back out and wait for help. Sanders guarding her, and they tried to get it inside, and a foul's going to be called on Johnson as they want to force it into Davis. And Johnson gets called for her second foul. Third foul against the Bearcats this quarter. Limestone has not been called for a foul yet this period. 52-36. Richardson almost lost the handle, sends it up top to Smith. Smith, step back, 3-ball, off the left iron, and Langford rips down the rebound. That's her 7th of the game. Harris, way beyond the arc, thought about it, now sends it right side to Langford. Langford, entry lob into Johnson. Johnson, skip it to Sanders. Sanders, left side, 3-ball, yes indeed. Ariana Sanders with the tray, and Lander with the largest lead of the game, 55-36, 4:55 to go in the third quarter of action. Harris guarding Hunter closely as she goes down the far sideline. Skips it back to Smith. Smith into the key. Hook shot, right hand, no good. Offensive rebound, Davis. Davis turnaround, right hand, no good. Another offensive board, and Kedra Smith, third time's the charm for Limestone, and they make it 55-38. Back-to-back offensive boards there for the Saints, and they finally got the bucket. So the Bearcats going to try to work it into Johnson once more. Mitchell going to drive right side with contact. She's fouled. Chelsea Mitchell into the post, and the call will go against Davis. That is Davis's 3rd foul of the game, and that'll take us to the media timeout. 4:23 to go, third quarter. Lander up 55-38. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. 55-38, Lander on top of Limestone, 4:23 to go in the third quarter. Rickson Lane with you as the Bearcats, the 4th seed, hold a 17-point lead over the 5th-seeded Saints. And this is Chelsea Mitchell, the junior guard from Laurel, Maryland, at the free throw line. She's got 8 points in the game as she makes her first free throw. Bearcats have attempted now 18 free throws in the game and have made 13. Meanwhile, Limestone has only taken 5 free throws in this contest. It's Mitchell's second free throw, good as well. Bearcats lead by 19. That's their largest lead of the evening. Nearly stealing the inbound pass is Harris, but it's just over her head, and Richardson comes away with it. Richardson sends it left side to Hunter. Hunter over to Keidra Smith. Smith wants to drive right side, lobs it over to Ruffin, cutting to the basket for the layup. Boy, Smith could have taken it all the way to the hole herself. Instead, lobbed it to Ruffin, who put it in off the glass at a difficult angle. Nice shot there. 57-40 now with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Johnson just inside the arc. Gets it to Langford on the left wing. Langford reverses direction now, sets it back out. 10 to shoot. Langford dribbles with the right hand. Over to Mitchell on the right side. Elbow jumper. Oh, yes, indeed. Chelsea Mitchell knocks down another 17-footer. Mitchell, give her 12 now in the game as she's getting heated up after having only 4 points in the first half. Lander's lead is 59-40 with 3:26 to play in the third quarter. Richardson spinning away from danger. Throws it back up top to Hunter. Hunter sets the offense as she taps the elbow with her right hand. They'll go to Davis. Davis faced up by Johnson. Kicks it to Richardson in the corner. Desperation three, and she missed the rim. Shot clock violation forced by the Bearcat defense, and Lander's got the ball on a 19-point lead with 3:05 to go here in the third quarter of action. Winner of this game gets top-seeded Carson Newman tomorrow night. Langford will send it to Harris, gets it right back top of the arc. They've got that right side of the floor flooded with gold jerseys. Langford, kick it to Sanders. Sanders left wing, three, got it! Ariana Sanders, the lone Lander player on the left side of the floor. They forgot about her. Sanders makes it a 22-point game. Bearcats up 62-40. Saints trying to answer, cut inside, and a nice dish from Ruffin to find Richardson for an easy layup. 62-42 our score now. Langford will jog it ahead for the Bearcats. 2:19 to play in the third quarter. 62-42. Harris straight ahead. Send it to Langford in the corner. Open for three. Airballed it. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Davis. Bearcats will maintain possession. Saints will check Morrow back in the ball game now with 2:04 to play in the third quarter as Hunter goes to the bench for Limestone. And then Mitchell cutting to the hoop, open under the basket, and Harris found her for the layup. Mitchell cutting from the right side of the wing all the way around to the left block, and Harris finds her for the assist. 64-42. Saints bring it. Pass stolen by Mitchell. She stole it away from Ruffin. Ahead it goes to Harris. Harris thought about a three. Now Harris wants to drive baseline. Cut off by Smith, so she'll back it out. Bearcats up by 22 with 1:35 to go in the third quarter. 64-42. Sanders corner three, rimmed around and out, but Mitchell got the offensive rebound. Back it goes to Harris. Fresh shot clock for Lander. And Chelsea Mitchell cans a baseline jumper. Mitchell, Johnny on the spot once more, and it's a 24-point lead for Lander. Timeout taken, 66-42. Bearcats up 24 with 1:12 to go in the third quarter. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. 66-42, Lander on top of Limestone as Leah Pettit deflects the inbound pass. It'll go out of bounds on the baseline. Saints will maintain possession. Bearcats shooting 69% from the field in this second half of play as the Saints inbound it to Davis, and the whistle on the floor against Leah Pettit. Pettit, Daly, Langford, Sanders, and Harris currently on the floor. So the Saints will inbound it up top as it goes to Richardson. Richardson drives, misses the layup, and Daly got the rebound. As Harris will bring it ahead for the Bearcats. Harris send it right side, Sanders. Now to Langford. Langford. Back up top, Harris. Harris wants to drive. Nice dish inside to Pettit, and she's fouled. Leah Pettit draws the foul. No, they're going to call a jump ball. Jump ball is the call, and Limestone will get it back. Pardon me, thought that Pettit had drawn the whistle. 39 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lander up 66-42. As Ruffin going to drive inside. Offensive foul, Pettit drew it. Ruffin whistled for the foul. That is her second. Another charge taken by the Bearcats. (66-42) as Langford bounces it over to Harris. Harris holds it behind her right hip, guarding it away from Ruffin. Ruffin trying to pick her pocket. Harris in the right side, Sanders. Now over to Langford. Langford back out to Harris as she looks at the game clock. 9 seconds to shoot. Harris, dish it left side, corner three on the way, stuck in the rim. Langford tried to fire it from the near corner as Sanders leaps up, grabs the net, and pokes it free. 66-42 our score. Bearcats leading by 24. 5 seconds to go in the quarter as Pershay Johnson checks back in, replacing Leah Pettit. So Lander will have the ball under their hoop with an opportunity to try and get another bucket here before we hit the end of the third quarter. Harris gives it to Johnson. Johnson, layup no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. 1.1 second remaining, and Leah Pettit will check back in as Johnson comes out. They tried to draw up a play for her but couldn't get it. So the Bearcats will have 1.1 seconds to get something, and Kevin Pedersen is going to take a timeout. We'll take one with him. 1 second to go in the third quarter. Lander up 24. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. So Kevin Pedersen calls a 30-second timeout for a 1 second play. 1 point, as a matter of fact, showing on the clock. Back inside Holt Fieldhouse, Rickson Lane joining you as we open up the fourth quarter here in Jefferson City, Tennessee at the NCAA Southeast Regional. Lander leading Limestone 66-42 as we head to the fourth period. Jasmine Richardson, three ball, air ball, out of bounds, Bearcat basketball. Richardson desperate to get something going. 11 points for her on 3 of 5 shooting, but she's turned it over 5 times. 20 turnovers forced by this Bearcat team in this game. So Destiny Langford will bring it into the front court for the Bearcats. It goes Daly up top. Send it over to Leah Pettit. Pettit gonna fire a jumper off the arc, no good, and rebounded by the Saints. Out on the run, Richardson. Richardson into traffic, and she's fouled. Tried to get a layup over Pettit, and Pettit knocks her to the floor. Foul on Leah Pettit with 9:25 to play. Lander up 66-42. Bearcats have 16 points from Mitchell, 13 from Harris, 12 from Langford, 11 from Johnson, and 8 from Sanders. Meanwhile, for Limestone, Kedra Smith with 14, Richardson with 11. No one else has more than 6. Teams fairly even from the floor. Lander 49%, Limestone 46%. 2 free throws up and in for the Saints. And now Limestone will set up a defensive press, trailing by 22 after the 2 made free throws. As the Bearcats inbounded to Langford, ball nearly stolen away. Daly comes out with it. And then Pettit's pass nearly out of bounds. Harris able to save it far sideline. 9:14 to go in this one. Lander up 22 as Harris sends it back and forth with Langford on the right wing. Pettit sets the screen. Langford, skip pass into the corner. Sanders gonna drive. Sanders had her shot blocked, and the Saints come away with the loose ball. Richardson, checking Morrow, wants to drive left block, kicks it to Richardson. Now back out to Smith. The Bearcats closed out on the shooters nicely. Ball bounced over to Morrow. Morrow fires a 3. Off the arc, no good. Rebounded by Langford. Langford bring it ahead. Through traffic, all the way to the rim. And roll it in, Destiny Langford. And 1 for the sophomore. And the Bearcats will send Langford to the free throw line with 8:36 to play. It's a 24-point lead. Langford, beautiful drive and finish in contact. She's got 14 points on 6 of 16 shooting. As her free throw creeps over the front of the rim and falls in. And the Bearcats nearly forced a turnover far side as Richardson had trouble corralling that one. Lander's lead is 25, largest of the night. Morrow sends it left side to Richardson. Richardson works it into the corner. Ruffin, 3 ball, too short. Long rebound. Smith came out with it. Smith drive and layup is good. Kedra Smith, an impressive move there. 69-46. Lander up 23. 8:05 to play. Langford set the offense up. Fins off Ruffin, 12 to shoot. Langford, stutter step, now wants to drive right side. Kick it to Sanders, 3 ball on the way, no good, and rebounded by Smith on the backside. Saints trying to cut into this deficit and quickly. Kedra Smith, step back 3, bounces off the rim, no good, and rebounded once more by Langford. She leads all players in rebounds. Langford fouled out on the arc. Call will go on Morrow. That is her second. 7:32 to play. Lander leading 69-46 as Harris will go to the bench. Jessica Harris put up 13 first half points for the Bearcats. The sophomore will take a seat with 7:30 to play. 3 ball from Sanders, no good. Daly got the rebound. Daly's put back up and in. (71-46). It's a 25-point lead now. Hunter in the far corner. Got Williams on her. They work it in Davis. Davis had it blocked away by Pettit and rebounded by Lander. Here comes Williams down the floor. Williams stop at the free throw line. Had her jumper blocked, but Daly comes out with a rebound. Now Sanders' jumper. It's off the mark, no good. Fight for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Lander will maintain possession. Chivers back in the ballgame for Limestone as the Bearcats will inbound from under the hoop. They lob it up top to Pettit with that sleeve on her right hand. Pettit going to fire a jumper, drained it. Leah Pettit makes it a 73-46 ball game. Six and a half minutes to go in this one. Lander up by 27. Smith drives, layup off the front of the iron, no good, and rebounded by Pettit. Ahead it goes to Williams, and Williams is fouled as she goes to the deck. Crystal Williams draws the foul, and Destiny Webster will check into the ball game, the freshman out of Marietta, Georgia. So first NCAA tournament action for Destiny Webster as Destiny Langford goes to the bench. Impressive night for her. So Williams will run point for the Bearcats. Really lost the handle, ball on the floor. Saints come out with it as Morrow went to the floor to get it, and timeout taken by Corey Fox for Limestone. We'll take one as well, 73-46. Lander up 27 with 6:07 to play. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. (73-46). Ricks and Lane with you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Lander with a 27-point lead here in the NCAA tournament's opening round against 5th-seeded Limestone. The Bearcats fighting for the right to take on top-seeded Carson Newman tomorrow night here at Holt Fieldhouse. Trying to win back-to-back opening round games in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2011-2012. And they get the rebound there. Sanders, right side, back out to goes to Williams. Now Sanders on the wing, off the screen, skips it over Williams. 3-ball on the way, way too short, and air ball as Limestone will come away with possession. .5:35 to play. Lander up 73-46. Ball sent right side to Morrow. Morrow wants to drive, floater, baseline, up and good. Williams in trouble in the backcourt. Ball on the ground. Jump ball. Possession arrow favors Lander. Williams was being hounded. Bearcats will inbound it as Daly will send it in far side. Gets it into Webster, and Webster's fouled by Morrow. That is the third foul on Morrow. Smith has 4, Davis has 3, and now Morrow has 3. 5:16 to play. Landers' lead is 25. Staley will inbound it to Williams. Williams bring it over the timeline. Staley cuts to the hoop. Instead, they send it to Sanders. Sanders over to Pettit. Pettit launches the jumper, knocked it down. Leah Pettit, another jumper for the sophomore. And the Bearcats lead back to 27, 75-48 with 4:46 to go. Corner 3 for Limestone, rattled down good, as that was Hunter who got it. Webster will bring it ahead. 4:30 to play. Over to Sanders' right side. Sanders trapped, bounces it to Pettit. Pettit's going to fire another one off the front of the rim, no good, and rebounded by the Saints. Pettit with a heat check jumper there just inside the arc as the Saints fire a 3. Hunter couldn't get it to go, and Landers got the rebound. 4:09 to play. Bearcats trying to salt away a 24-point lead. Daly trapped, looking for help out around half court. Bounces it over to Pettit. Pettit swing it to Webster. Webster's 3, good! Destiny Webster, welcome to the NCAA tournament. The freshman out of Marietta drains it from the right wing, and Landers up 78-51, 3:45 to go. Morrow tried to answer, 3 too long, rebounded by Pettit. And Pettit gives it off to Webster. Webster now walking into the front court, 3:33 to play. Lander up 78-51. He'll send it over to Williams. Williams to Pettit. Closely guarded now after knocking down a couple jumpers. Had it stripped away momentarily. Now gives it off to Sanders. 7 to shoot. Sanders between the legs. Goes right side. Step back. Over to Daly. Fires a long 2. No good. Missed everything. Shot clock violation by the Bearcats. Lander will go to the bench. Alexis High will come in the ball game as Ariana Sanders checks out. Her night possibly over with. (78-51). Lander leading with 3 minutes to go. Saints working to Ruffin on the left wing. Ruffin double team. Kick it to the corner. 3 ball off the side of the backboard. Rebounded by Davis. Davis throws up a wild hook shot. No good. Webster came out with the rebound. And now Webster will back out so the Bearcats can use a little clock here. 2:45 to play. Daly, top of the arc. Give it to Pettit. Just beyond the free throw line. Pettit works it inside to High. High kicks it out to Williams. Williams now over to Pettit. Pettit launches a jumper. No good. And a foul by the Bearcats as the ball was blocked. Saints were going to take it the other way, and Pettit committed the foul. That's the second on Lander in this period, the third against Leah Pettit. 2:31 to play. Lander up 78-51. Davis with the ball. Trapped. Gets out of it, throws up a shot, and she's fouled. That one's going to go on Daly as Davis will go to the free throw line with 2:24 to play. So the Bearcats, barring a miracle here by Limestone, they will win their 20th game in the last 21 contests in this series. And Lander, for the first time in 6 years, will win back-to-back opening round games at the NCAA tournament. There was a first-round hump the Bearcats had to get over there for a while. They got over it last year with a win over Limestone, and they will end the Saints season again in the first round of the regional. Beautiful backdoor pass from Pettit, and the finish by Webster. Oh, how about that? Pettit threading the needle through traffic in the key, and Webster finishes, and it's 80-52. And then the pass stolen away as High got a piece of it. Here comes Webster. Webster into traffic, puts up the shot, and she's fouled. Destiny Webster making the most of her minutes here in Jefferson City. She'll shoot a pair with 1:45 to play. Lander leading 80-52. After a day that has been full of hotly contested games at the Southeast Regional, Carson Newman had to scratch and claw for dear life against Anderson in the game before us. The contest before that went to overtime between Wingate and Columbus State. North Georgia had to fend off Barton at the end. The Bearcats will leave no doubt in the first round, a 30-point lead. 82-52. Ruffin with the ball out on the right wing. Kick it to Smith in the corner. Smith's three rattled out, no good. Rebounded by Williams. Williams pushing it ahead and now slows to a walk as she gets over half court. Ball to Webster. Webster around the screen from Pettit. Wanted to go baseline but cut off, so they work it into Daly. Daly going to go to High. High on the near side. Bounce it to Pettit. 10 on the shot clock, 1:09 to play. Pettit give it to Williams. Williams in traffic in the corner. Three ball. Yes, indeed. Crystal Williams. And it has been all Bearcats here in the opening round. The 4-5 matchup has gone the way of Lander. Timeout, Limestone, 84-52. The Bearcats rolling here on a Friday night at Carson Newman. We'll step aside. Lander up 32, 54 seconds to play. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. So it'll be a short timeout as the Saints just trying to get some players in here. Lander up 84-52, 48 seconds to go in this one. A dominant effort tonight from the Bearcats. Their defense forced a lot of problems early in this one and continued to pressure Limestone throughout the night. They forced 21 turnovers, 7 3-pointers in the game for Lander, and a defense that has been stifling all night. The Saints have not made a field goal in nearly 4 minutes. 84-53 is the second free throw, no good from Ruffin. 44 seconds to go in this one. Lander with the ball, up by 31. Webster on the right side. Backs it out, entry pass to Pettit, gets it right back. Webster inside the arc, now goes to Pettit baseline. Pettit, turnaround shot, no good, and rebounded by Ruffin. 20 seconds to play. 84-53, Bearcats on top. Ruffin gives it over, left side it goes, long three from Richardson, no good. And the ball loose, Pettit scoops it up. 9 seconds to play and the Bearcats get it. Daly will give it over to, and Lander will knock off Limestone. 84-53 your final, and Lander will survive and advance, and they will face top-seeded Carson Newman tomorrow night here in Holt Fieldhouse. That'll do it for us here in the 4-5 matchup. We'll step aside. When we come back, a conversation with head coach Kevin Pedersen and our play of the game. Lander victorious over Limestone, 84-53. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball. Back in Jefferson City, Tennessee, Lander victorious in the opening round of the NCAA tournament, 84-53, as the Bearcats blow by fifth-seeded Limestone. And we're joined now by our player of the game, Destiny Langford, 15 points on the night. She led everybody on the Bearcats with 9 rebounds, also dished out a team-high 5 assists. Destiny, this team talked about wanting to come out loose, wanting to be aggressive. What kind of tone do you feel like you guys set in that first quarter with the turnovers and turning that defense into offense?
I think we really set the tone for the rest of the game. We came out. Usually we come off to a slow start, so that was one of the things we had to change. And since we came out with that fast start, it really changed the tempo for the rest of the game.
Knowing that you guys had played this team earlier in the year and you had a big lead and they came back and made it a 5-point game, what did that do for this team, knowing, hey, you had to keep pedal to the metal for 40 minutes?
We really just had to win every quarter. That was really our mindset coming into this game. We knew if we won every quarter, we'll win the game. So that was really our mindset. They came back and we just really had to keep pushing.
Bearcats did win every quarter, 15 in the first, won by 2 in the second, and 7 in the third and fourth. A quick turnaround tomorrow night for the second year in a row. You're going to play the top-seeded team in the region on their home floor. The experience that players like you and Jessica and Tabitha and Leah, all you that are in your second year doing this for the second time, what do you think that brings to tomorrow night, knowing you've been through this before?
I feel like it's really our seniors. She really helps us get the mindset of that winning mentality, of that championship mentality. So I feel like it's really not about us. It's really her, and she's really helped us out.
That's Brashay Johnson at 11 points on the night, but Landers player of the game, Destiny Langford, 15 points, team high, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Destiny, congratulations. Go enjoy this one.
Thank you.
Lander victorious 84-53 over the Limestone Saints as they wrap up a big round 1 victory here in Jefferson City. Give you some stats here as we wait for head coach Kevin Pedersen. He had to finish up some television duties before he can join us. 15 points for Destiny Langford. We mentioned the 9 rebounds and the 5 assists for her in 29 minutes of play. Chelsea Mitchell was Lander's leading scorer with 16 points. She grabbed 4 rebounds. Jessica Harris had 13 points in the game, 1 rebound and 4 assists. 11 points for Brashay Johnson, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Bearcats also got 8 from Ariana Sanders, 7 from Destiny Webster, and 6 from Tabitha Daly as Lander builds a 31-point lead, and they win over Limestone 84-53 as the Bearcats knock off the Saints for the second year in a row. As we're joined now by Lander head coach Kevin Pedersen. Coach, you talked to this team all day leading up to this game about loose and fast and aggressive in the first quarter, and you guys jump out to a 15-point lead. What did you see from your unit in those opening 10 minutes?
I thought you saw a nice focus. It's just a desire to play, and you heard us keep saying all day long, hey, guys, just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the ride. I think too many times people get here and you get stressed. You feel like you've got to treat this game differently, and you've got to be at your very best because it's an NCAA tournament game. And the key is that we just try to take the pressure off them. At this point, you've had a fantastic season. Win or lose tonight, we've had a great season. And so it's nice to see them come out here and play their best game. It was a good matchup for us. You're talking about a Limestone team that when you look at the film has been pressed a total of 13 times since Christmas. Not 13 games, 13 possessions. And so they do a great job. It's like we can't simulate their dribble drive offense, which is so tough. They couldn't simulate our press. Once we got it going, it really gave us a nice advantage in the first half.
Now, a quick turnaround as you get ready. Second year in a row, you're going to play the top team in the region on their home floor. You've got a unit now and a bunch of sophomores that have gone through that before. How do you think that translates, hopefully, to tomorrow night as you face Carson Newman?
Well, I'll tell you what, I hope it does carry over. I think at this point the advantage you have is you should be playing very free. You're playing not only the number 1 seed, but what are they, 5th or 4th in the nation or something like that. It's a team we played early in the year, but that seems, like we talked about before, it's so long ago. I don't think you really get anything out of it. And the tough thing is we'll get home at 11 o'clock. There's not a whole lot of game prep that goes into this one. It's really, hey, get your kids ready to go. Let's come out what we do. Let's enjoy the ride. And more than anything, like you said, this is back-to-back years now after a little funk in the first round. We're advancing to the second round. And we talk all the time in our arena, we've got a couple gold banners, and you've got to get to that round of 16. But that's what this team's after. Brashay Johnson's had a great career. We would really like to see her get a gold banner to hang on the way out. But, man, we got a giant standing in our way tomorrow night.
Bearcats will throw their stones tomorrow night as they try to get another gold banner. As head coach Kevin Pedersen joins us. Bearcats win it 84-53. Your final score: Lander over Limestone, the 4 over the 5. So all chalk in the opening round. 1, 2, 3, and 4 advance at the Southeast Regional. And we'll be back with you tomorrow night. Lander and Carson Newman, 7:30 tip-off here in Holt Fieldhouse for everybody here in Jefferson City, Tennessee at the NCAA. I'm Rickson Lane signing off for now. Your final score: Lander 84, Limestone 53. Have a blessed evening, everybody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night.